All right, let's talk about the four agreements, right? Apparently, not everyone has read it, which is it's a travesty. I'm pissed, as you can see. But yeah, no, honestly, though, y'all get on this bandwagon, right? This is the one. The four agreements are awesome, and it can turn your shit around. Rule number one. Be impeccable with your speech, right? And that's really what I want to focus on today is how we talk. So, there are a few things that I feel like are fucking sins, okay? Like things that you shouldn't do, right? Number one, talking bad about yourself. I hate that. Okay. I want you to, anytime you're thinking a bad thing, I want you to think of my face saying, I hate that. So, no, but honestly, be gentle with yourself. Be impeccable with your speech. Speak kindness to yourself. Like, if you're thinking, like, how would you talk to your best friend? Right? Think about that. Like, how are you gonna, sit there and talk to them? If they're sitting there going, I'm ugly, I'm just a loser, da da da, then you're gonna be like, what? Hell no! You're full of shit. I love you. You're crazy. You're gonna turn that shit around because you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear your friend insulting your friend, even if it is themselves. That shit you just don't want to, right? So don't do that to yourself, right? You're supposed to love yourself, so let's start by acting like it. Okay, baby steps. We baby stepping into self-love. Another thing I would say is assigning people thoughts and feelings, right? Where you're sitting there and you're like, you are thinking this, or you're feeling this, you're sad, what's wrong? Oh, you look anxious today. Whatever your fucking thing is, like, what you're doing when you assign people feelings is you're planting a little fucking seed in their head. And then that little seed grows, right? And it festers and it becomes a thing. And where it didn't have to be. They might have been over any like negative feelings, but because you saw some residual energy up in them from what they're overcoming, like you're just like, that's what you are. Because you're highlighting the one thing that you are suppressing yourself, the emotions that you're withholding in yourself. Your subconscious is going to highlight that shit in other people, and you're going to be like, I see you being all mad over there, and they're probably not. They're probably like completely in a whole other mindset. But then what you do when you assign people these emotions is it's kind of like casting a spell on them. It's kind of like being like, you will feel this because I planted a seed and now you're going to think about it. You're going to dwell on it and it's going to manifest into reality. And too many of you motherfuckers don't realize how powerful your manifestations are, right? Too many of you guys are not impeccable with your speech. And I can only say that because I've been you. I'm calling you out because I've been that guy too, right? And so those would be two, it's like what I tell my kids. There's no such things as bad words, just bad context, like don't say shit like to hurt people, or don't be deliberately putting people in negative mindsets. They don't fucking need to be there. And that's just part of being impeccable with your speech, is allowing somebody else the autonomy to assign their own moods and mindsets to themselves, right? Instead of taking on whatever you've cast at them, whatever you've said they're going to feel or think or whatever, It's like those fucking people that they're like, oh, you're just gonna do blah blah blah. And then it's like, well, I wasn't going to, and then you brought it up, and now I kind of want to. It's like, just don't even give people autonomy. Be impeccable with your speech. Give them the fucking freedom to decide what they're gonna feel and think for the day. Like, don't fucking go around telling people what they're thinking and feeling, because what you're really doing is telling people what you're thinking and feeling. what your subconscious is suppressing. You might be in a manic ass mode for like a day or something, but when you're seeing that shit in other people, you're highlighting what is going on inside, right? Familiar seeks familiar. It's like when you get a brand new car and then all of a sudden you start seeing that car all over the fucking place, you know? It's, you're seeking the familiar. What you're thinking and feeling, you're seeking that in somebody else, you know? And yeah. So, and also whenever you're judging people, that's another thing. When you have passed judgment on another person, you're also highlighting shit that you yourself feel, insecure about. Like things, you're pulling out the very thing that you don't want people to notice in you. Like, you're just, so like, part of being impeccable with your speech is having your word mean something. Maybe don't mindlessly talk shit about people. Like, and that's a lesson I've had to learn. Y'all know that. Y'all know I was the worst. Oh my gosh. You guys, if you've seen me like in my whole transformation, I was the guy like, can you believe that bitch is wearing those pants? Da, da, da. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, oh, but I found some pants just like it, and I kind of love these. For example, I never would have caught myself in these leggings. Then I found them and I'm like, I love those. Fuck it. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Like the very thing, we're judging people about. Like, I used to get hella stupid judgmental about fucking high heels, right? And then I got a pair and I'm like, you know what? These are fun. They're like, you can like stomp faces with these if you got to. Like, it's like a weapon for a girl who's probably got no pockets for her weapons, Like, I don't know. I think, I've just been stupid and judgy about stupid shit. And part of being impeccable with your speech is being impeccable with your thoughts. So, like, when you catch yourself judging, just recognize that you're judging based on shit that you yourself are insecure about. You're like, fuck, she's got the balls to walk out in those shoes. I want to break my ankles right now. Like, I want to be out there trying. Like, it's how our brains are, and it's stupid. But, like, it's being gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with other people. Life is too fucking short to be hating so goddamn much. I mean, honestly, I don't want to spend my whole life hating. And the second I start feeling any negative kind of way towards somebody, guess what? I'm going to go out of my way to hang out with that person and to become a part of their life because I know that we have more in common than that. I know that there's a deeper person than my preconceived judgments, and I love being proved wrong with people because I'm one of those people. I have critical thinking, and it's stupid sometimes because I will try to, like, imagine somebody's entire lifespan in like one conversation. I'm like, don't do that. Like, don't do that. You don't know. Like, and so many times I'll be thinking like one thing about somebody and then they tell me the complete fucking opposite. And I'm like, oh damn, like I really thought I was on point with that one. But it's okay to not be. Sometimes like you're pleasantly surprised by people. A lot of the times I am. Like, holy shit. Sometimes like there's this girl, right? Very bubbly, always just making everyone's day, trying to bring in gifts, and just sweet as hell, right? And one day she was having a bad day, and I assume she's a hugger, right? I'm like, she's way too nice to not be a hugger. And I was like, do you need a hug? And she's like, oh, I'm not a hugger, And then like 2 days later, this other girl that I work with, she's like tough as nails, cool as hell. I love her. Like, she is just fucking awesome, right? And I brought her a gift one day and she straight up hugs me and she is like she's such a tough guy, such a like a strong character. I preconceived it as maybe I shouldn't try to go in for a hug or anything, you know. But then she hugs me, and I'm like, oh my god, like you know, the very person that I first thought would be a hugger was like, nah, and then the person that I thought wouldn't be was like, hell yeah, you know, we're friends. But I mean, it's just people are not predictable like you think they are. They just aren't. You know, when you look at a person, you're seeing like just this, like the three-dimensional mold of a person. You're not seeing every fucking aspect of that person. You're not seeing how they see themselves. You're not seeing, you know, what they've done to overcome certain aspects of themselves. You're not, you know, you're not seeing the full picture. Only they can. And so like, but you can get closer. You can like piece together the, you know, the pieces by just talking and getting to know people and loving your fucking differences. I love being different from everybody. I love every diversity I've found. Like, the more fucking like different you are, the more likely we are gonna hang out. Like, I was born for the circus. Okay, you don't even know. Like, I tried to juggle. I can juggle two things. And I can walk kind of a slack rope. So I'm getting there. But one day the circus will have me. You know, those are my people. Um, but, you know, and you would never guess that I grew up in a very, like, conservative Christian background. Like, my family was, like, very into country music. Very, you know, we had casseroles every day. Like, I tried to make tacos once and my mom turned that into a casserole. Like, you know, you don't know where, like, I came from. Like, what you're seeing is from, like, years of being enculturated through California and Oregon. Like, and, like, kind of setting my own path and, you know, being different. But there was a time when you would have met me and I was, like, the biggest, preppiest, fucking assholest, like, Christian kid you'd ever meet, you know? All I knew was the church. I went to school through the church. Like, everything was church. And so, yeah, you just don't know. And oh, look at me. Like, hanging out with hookers and thieves, and I'm like, you know what? I love these guys. Like, I don't know. But, you know, I get it. I get why Jesus, you know, was like that. Like, he was like, man, I'd rather hang out with fucking Judas and Mary Magdalene than any of these goddamn politicians and priests. Like, what the fuck? Oh, these people and their weird ass doctrine. And then the very people who killed him slapped their doctrine right in front of his message. Like, we wouldn't notice that the Old Testament is a plagiarism of the Torah. But whatever. Different subject, different day. Okay? But yeah. Like, I mean, just be impeccable with your words. Alright, I kind of went on a long ass tangent with this. I don't know, every day I'm starting to enjoy this process a little bit more. I wasn't feeling hella motivated to do this video, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking do it. Like, I know that maybe somebody needs to hear this. Maybe these books that I'm reading have something I can give to the public. My friends who won't read books, I keep telling you, read your damn books. Like, y'all can tell me what the fucking Kardashians are doing right now, and you don't even like them, but, you know, like, fucking ask about a book, you know? And you know what, that being said, if you are a book reader, comment a book list. Like, I need some more books. We could, like, talk about it through here. I just, you know, I'll read them, I'll download that shit, I got you. I will get all up in that book, and then we can discuss it through here. That would be sick, you know, or, you know, whatever you're into. Like, I kind of want it to be more interactive than just me, like, kind of jabbering, like, help me out with some topics, yo. Like, but anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get on with your bad selves. I love you all. Have a great day.